Well, first let's do the unboxing, then we'll get into the specs. You get a 2 amp hour charger with this 60 volt scooter. You also get a few reflectors, and of course you get a nice tube, which is really cool to see. Assembling this scooter is pretty straightforward. You literally only need to loosen the top screw and then mount your handlebars. So in other words, it will take you less than 5 minutes to assemble this scooter, which is pretty straightforward. Pump your tires also to around 45 psi, and of course make sure your brakes are all okay. But I had zero issues with this, and I have to say I'm quite excited to try out this electric scooter. As you can see here, when you put the screw down, of course make sure you put the washer down and don't over tighten this. You could as well use some blue Loctite. But what are the specs of this scooter and what can we expect in the review? Well, here we go. Let's break the T10 down into a bit more detail. Well, there we go. This is the Joyor T10. I reviewed a Joyor electric scooter a very long time ago, and to be honest, that was absolutely a fantastic scooter, very simplistic, and it came in at a great price. I will link that review in the description of this video, and it will be linked at the end. But let's talk about the T10. Basically, this is an updated version, and it has a few improvements straight off the bat. But let's talk about the specs. Now, I am very excited because lately I've been receiving this more or less the same spec scooters from the same manufacturers, and I've been getting a little bit boring. So yeah, quite excited to actually talk about this Joyor. Okay, so this is of course the T10 model, and it has 1000 watt motors in the front and in the rear. They are pneumatic as well, not tubeless, but that's not much of a deal breaker for me in my opinion, and I'll tell you why in a minute. It also has, take this, a 60 volt 18 amp hour battery. It means you have very nice torque and a lot of power. Most scooters are around a 48 volt systems nowadays, 52 volt systems. It's very rare you can get 60 volt systems at this price. I'll give you the price, by the way, in a minute. It is linked below as well in the description, but let's keep going. It has a range of up to 75 kilometers, states on the website here. Of course, that's if you're going to slower speed. I will be doing a full review on it. Any questions, of course, please feel free to ask. Now, other specs include that, of course, it has my favorite of all. Some people will disagree. It has the Zoom hydraulic brakes. It also has hydraulic suspension in the front and in the rear, hydraulic spring suspension. And if it's anything to go by on the last model, it should do quite a reasonable job. Now, one thing, I'm after having a good bit look on the website here. It doesn't actually state what the maximum unlocked speed is. Out of the box, it should be 25 kilometers an hour if you are in Europe. But of course, I will try my best to unlock the speed to see what it can fully go. But overall, let me give you a closer look at it right now. So coming up on top here, we have these very nice grips, nice design. We have our full Zoom hydraulic brakes there. And take a look at this, very nice switch design. I love the sharp lines on this. You have indicators, menu button, plus, minus. Ooh. You have a really nice horn on this, and then of course you have your display. I will give a closer look at that, of course, in the review. You have, of course, the really nice thumb throttle design. I do like these designs to have these kind of lines here as well. And of course, my favorite as well that I like on so many scooters, it has adjustable height, so this will suit pretty much anybody, and that's exactly the way most electric scooters should be. And just taking a look here as well, this curvature going right around, very nice design, simplistic, not over complicated, not too much going on, just what you want. You of course have a front standard LED light here. These are basically 10-inch hybrid tires, 140mm disc rotors, and there's of course our Zoom hydraulic calipers right there. We have our suspension underneath, very simplistic design. You of course have your indicators here. You of course have your charging port here. Deck space, nice and wide, quite generous in length and width. I'll talk about that folding mechanism in a second because that's kind of a new design that I haven't seen before. You have this really cool kick plate on the back here. Very nice, solid. It has kind of a logo as well imprinted here. Again, rear suspension. Check this out. Back mudguard. Complete wraparound back mudguard. And basically, you can see here as well, even riding in the rain, you should be bone dry on this model. That's exactly the way scooters should be. Cable, very tidy, comes out of the frame here. This deck here is actually kind of like a rubber material, very easy to clean, but also grippy. Again, let's have a look at the cables here. Okay, maybe this could have been done a little bit better, but overall, not a lot to complain about. This is the standard fold mechanism that I'm generally not a fan of, because I was always afraid of that coming loose on certain model electric scooters. But take a look at this. This is actually a safety pin. So when you have this locked in, this ain't going nowhere. So that's actually pretty solid. Let me jump on the suspension and just see what it's like. Don't worry, I'll talk about the price in a second, but let me just see what the suspension is like. Ooh, wow. That is actually nice and soft. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm definitely gonna try and take this off-road. That is like, just take a look at that. Oh, of course I'm on soft ground here, so on hard ground it will be even better. So that's actually very nice, and the scooter isn't actually that heavy. I mean, you could lift this no problem, considering it has dual motor. But let's talk about the price. So keep this in mind, this is a 60 volt dual motor 1000 watt scooter, clean design, built well, excellent suspension, a ridiculous price. It's currently on sale at the moment, €678 for this scooter. Now that is a steal. There's a lot of scooters I reviewed that are dual motor design, and they are generally 48 volt, 52 volt systems, and they retail for around €700, €800, and they don't have that 60 volt 18. Now remember, 18 amp hour battery. I'm actually just after finding out the top speed on this model, 60 kilometers an hour unlocked. Now that should be more than what you need. I will be checking out the stability of this, of course going that higher top speed. If I can find an off-road trail near me, definitely I will be taking this out and, you know, giving it a real good test. And to be honest, straight away, I already love this scooter. I'm very curious to see how it handles. So if you have enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next video.